Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. This is the 14th class for the BDD framework development session, and we are continuing on our data driven testing. And in the last two sessions, we have seen how to pass the data from the feature file to the step definition inline data. That was the inline data. So that is the first thing. And the second thing, we saw how to pass the data from the feature file to the step definition through the data table as a list. Okay, that two methods we have seen, and today we'll look into another type of data driven testing where we'll pass the data as a data table as a map. Okay, so without wasting further time, let's get started. So if we go to our feature file, okay, so user login.feature, so user enters username and password. So this is where we have implemented that as list, right? So here we'll update this scenario, and this step basically we are going to update to pass this same set of the data, but we'll read it as a map. Okay, so when we are going to use the data table as a map. In that approach, we have to pass the header for each data, right? So here we are not passing any header, okay, but by looking I can say this is the username and this is the password, right? So similarly we have to pass the header. Here we have to say this is username and this is password. So all this comes under that username header are the usernames, and all those comes under that password header are the passwords. Okay, so map is going to created for each data with header as key and data as value, as they are stored as the list of map of string. So basically by passing the header, we can say like the map is going to created for each data with the header as the key and the corresponding value as the respective value, and it will be stored as the list of map of string comma string. Okay, so list of map of string comma string, let me put it here. So we'll have list of, okay, so list of map, and here inside the map you can say key and value. So key is the string type and value is also string type. Okay, so this is how we are going to represent it. So list of map of string comma string. Okay, so when we are going to use the data table as the map, we are going to use list of map of string comma string. Okay, so let's update the scenario and see how exactly we are going to implement this. So let's go to the scenario. User enters the username and password. Okay, so here what we need to do, we need to, I said we need to pass the header information, right? So again, pipe separated, just say username, okay, pipe, and then let's say password, pipe, done. So we are saying username and password. Okay, so there are two setups of header. One header is the username, another header is the password. So everywhere we have to pass two set of the data, that is one with the username and one with the password. Make sense? So now the same set of the data I'm going to keep it over here. Okay, and let's go to the implementation part. Okay, so what are the changes we need to do at the implementation part? So this was for the okay, data table credential. So let me comment it. Okay, so I'll say data table as lists implementation. Okay, so I'll do one thing, I'll just comment this one up to here. Okay, so commented. So now let's implement data table as a map. Okay, let's say data table as map. Okay, so data table as map, I can do one thing, block comment. Let's give I can go to the code. There is the block comment, comment with line, block comment. Okay, so data table as the map implementation. Okay, so let's say data table as the map implementation. Okay, just give a double slash. Okay, so now let's see how exactly we're going to implement this one. So the same thing, right? So we are going to first get the value, right? So data table of the user credential, whatever we have done here till now, it is remains same. So now from here, instead of reading as a as list, we are going to read as a map. Okay, so how to do that? So as I told you, so let's say let me do one thing, write it after here. Okay, so now user credentials dot. Earlier what we used to do, we are going to as lists, right? So instead of that we are going to use as maps. We have as maps, okay, so let's say as maps. Okay, so with the as maps, what we are going to pass, so we are going to pass two things. Okay, so we are going to pass two things. One is the string dot class, this is for the key, and similarly for the value. Okay, two things we are going to keep it. Okay, string dot class comma string dot class. Okay, and but you have to store it, right? How exactly we are going to store it? So I already told you, right? This is the format. Okay, list of map of string and string. Okay, so let's put it there, list of map of string of the string, and you can give a name. Okay, so let's say credentials list was there, here we can say credentials map, let's say, yeah, credentials credential map. Okay, and this one I can import. Okay, import class. Okay, fine. So now the error is gone. So now what we have to do, so now I can iterate over it and let's print all those values, but I'm going to use in the automation script the validated credentials, like the first row of the data, right? So how to iterate and get the values for each of the rows, right? So for that we can use a for loop. So for, and how we had that map, right? So how we did there, similar fashion we have to do map of the string comma string. For key value we are taking map of string comma string, and we have to give a name here. Let's say again we are going to say the value. Okay, so value in where, in credential map. Okay, so for each value in credential map, what we are going to do, so we are going to print it, right? So how to print is out. So we are going to print value dot get, right? So get of object and key, right? So first what we are going to get, I have already given the username and password as the header, right? Do you remember? So we are going to give the username here, right? So let's put here username. Okay, so we are going to get the username, and then plus let's give some separator, let's say not plus, let's say equals. Okay, and now we see value dot get password. So plus value dot get, so what we are going to get, we are going to get the password. Let's copy from here and say password. Okay, so done. So now if you see, it is going to return us the all those values for each of the thing. Okay, so it is going to return those values, and okay. Okay, so now after this what we are going to do, we can start using, this is for that this one, right? For loop to read the value, but we are going to use the actual value. So how to use the actual value? So again we are going to say, which page was that, sign up or login page dot enter username, right? So I'll say sign up or login page dot enter username, and here I have to pass the username. So how to get the username? So I'll say credential map. Okay, here we are storing, right? So I'll say credential map dot, okay, so get up int index. So I'm just going to get the first index, get up 0, right? And dot get, and here I'm going to get the username. Okay, so this is what I'm going to get it, username. And similarly sign up or login page dot enter password. Okay, enter password, and here we'll say credential map dot get of 0. So here again get of 0 dot get a password actually. Okay, I'll explain you how exactly it is stored, like how I have explained there, I'll explain here also. Okay, so this is what I will do. Okay, control A, control alt L, reformat. Okay, so now this is how we are going to read. Okay, so how exactly it is going to happen? Okay, so let's run it and then we'll go and see the explanation. Okay, awesome. Okay, fine. So let's see. See here you can see, right? So qaautomationclasses are the gmail.com separated by, and then qaautomation classes valid password. So then other set of the data it is able to read. Okay. So now, but let's say how exactly it is going to get presented, how it is going to get represented, right? So when you saw the last time when it was list of the list, right, we understood that with the help of the example, this example, right? So same example, this is exactly how it is going to store. So now it is the, let me put that as credential map. Okay, so let's say credential map. Okay, so credential map. So how exactly here it is going to store? So the first one is the list of the map of string. Okay, so first let's go to the inside and see. We have a map, and it has two values, key and value, both of the string type. So how to represent this one? A map. Okay, so you can represent the map. So flower brushes, first you will start with double quote, let's say username. Okay, so first we have the username, right? I think username also, everything small, that is fine. Anything, any name you can give, right? Whatever you have given there, you can have to take the same thing here. So I think username here we have given, see username. Okay, here, so username. Okay, so this is the username. So first, this is the first set of the map. So username, so what is the username? So username is nothing but within the double quote you have to pass that valid username, right? This is the first username what we are passing. So QA automation classes, so this is username is done, right? So now this is one key value pair. So this is one key and this is the respective value, right? And we have to separate it. So now again one more key value where we have to get, right? So the second key is our password. Okay, so second key is password, and for this password what we have QA automation classes as the password. Okay, so password, so let's give a separator colon, and password is nothing but your Q automation classes. Okay, so put that within the double quotes. Okay, so now you put it here Q automation classes. Okay, so this is nothing but one key and respective value, another key and the respective value. This is the map. Okay, map, key value pair. So there are two values, one is for key, one is for values. So key is username and value is the password, and these are the respective values. So this is one map. So similarly, right, so similarly we have multiple maps. Okay, because I'm saying list of map and all those maps are present in the list. So comma, I can say, I can copy this multiple times and we can construct that one. So the four, right? How many? 1 2 3 4, right? Okay, so now last one will be without this comma, and here we have to put that inside a list. So square bracket end. Okay, so the square bracket start and square bracket end. So now I'll say gmail q automation classes 1 at the gmail.com, password q automation classes 1, and here q automation classes 2, password q automation classes 2, q automation classes 3, and q automation classes 3. So these are the things, like this is how it is going to get stored in the form of the map, list of map of string comma string. So this is first map, zeroth map, this is first map, this is second map, this is third map, and each map has a respective key and value. So if you see how we are retrieving, right? So if you go to the proper step definition, so you see credential map dot get of 0, because here I want to take the valid username and password which is present in the first map, that is the 0th index. So if you go and see, this is the 0th index. Here we are having the username, this is the valid username and this is the valid password, others are all are invalid ones, right? So I'm saying get of 0, just first to the go to the first map. Okay, and from there get this key value. So the key is username. So for the username, what is the value? The value is the key automation classes at the gmail.com. So similarly For the password, I'm saying credential map of get up 0. So go to the first map, and from the first map get the password. So what is the password? QA automation classes. So we got the username and password. So for reading, we are like for each map of string value in credential map system.out.println value.get username. This is the key and this is the value for that one, right? So this is the key and this is the key for respective values will be get printed. Okay, so this is how if you see, this is how we achieve the data driven testing with the help of data table with the map. Okay, and there is one important concept in the next session we are going to cover, that is called as the scenario outline. So here if you see whatever the data I'm passing, right, I'm passing here, right, I'm passing, right? So but I'm just using only one set of the data. So let's say I want my test case is to try a setup valid and invalid user credential combination, right? So I want my entire test case to get executed with whatever the setup. First it should executed with this set of data. It's a valid set of data. It will get and it will log in and it will do the login, and the happy path flow will be continued. So let's say I'm giving the invalid username and invalid password, the login will fail here, right? So again the entire steps will get repeated, and here while user enters the username and password, here since the username and password are wrong, so it will fail over here. So similarly there are few more combinations, so it will check with all those data, like the entire test scenario should get executed for each row of the data. That can be achieved with the help of the scenario outline and example, which is the most important one. You should not miss that. We are going to cover in the next class. Okay, so that's all to this class. Before that, let me commit this one. Okay, so data table as map implementation. Okay, the map implementation, let's say commit all. Okay, working tree clean. So go to git. So data table as map implementation. Okay, cool. So that's all to this class, guys. If you guys are really enjoying these sessions, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel QA automation classes, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comment below, and put them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.